Okay, you know who I am. I'm Suzanne Titkemeyer. I used to write for Pathos. I'm no longer quivering for almost 10 years and done a pile of other dumb things. Right now, I'm trying to concentrate on writing a book all about moving to Costa Rica. It's going to be called the same thing that my YouTube channel is called What Not to Do When Moving to Costa Rica. There's a big difference. I may change my name here shortly, but for now, that's what I'm doing. I'm talking about Costa Rica today for a few minutes. I'm going to do another video where I'm talking about gaslighting. I've got a hell of a gaslighting story for you guys that I should tell you that happened to me. It's how easy it is to fall for gaslighting. But we need to talk about what it actually is because there's been so much speculation and so many charges of gaslighting thrown around our community. Okay, the reasons to love Costa Rica. Number 5, street food. I know I've talked endlessly about street food, but it's real, it's awesome. It's not unusual here to have guys walking down the street. I saw one guy with a plastic container full of cheese, homemade cheese, that I bought cheese off him one day. There's a guy here that you can buy fresh tortillas from every morning. He goes around and sells fresh tortillas for like 1 meal, which is like $2. Fresh tortillas. I've eaten full meals. There's a lady in Tamarindo proper that has plate lunches she sells for like 3 mil. Lots of food, delicious food. So I never thought, I always tell people, say, I never thought I would eat ceviche from the trunk of somebody's car, but I have since I've been here and had no problems whatsoever. So don't fear eating food from weird places here because it's going to be awesome. Number 4, the wildlife. I I cannot tell you how much that I enjoy looking up like I am right now and seeing the trees here, the grapefruit trees. I'm having a senior moment. The grapefruit trees, having the monkeys use the grapefruit trees, then cross over the almond tree to get into the big mango tree. A couple times a day, you hear the monkeys are all around. And the monkeys aren't the only thing. I've talked about the 5 foot long iguanas I've seen here. They're just absolutely beautiful. I had to laugh the other day. We dropped off our friend at the airport. Road in front of the airport had a huge iguana. And it's illegal to run over wildlife here. I see all kinds of weird birds. We have locally, we have a black-billed toucan. I've seen and heard him. I've heard him more than I've seen him. There's also birds like parrots. I see parrots all the time. Small ones, big ones, parrots, little parakeets, all sorts of things. And you'll hear them. They're everywhere, big flocks of these things. And there are even places where there are huge flocks of the big parrots. There's a flock of blue macaws at the very head of a river here. There's a huge flock of them there. I've seen them every time we've gone to the Taco Bell or right before we turn, because this is the main turn into San Jose. It's Route 1. Route 1 way north of San Jose. There's a huge flock of blue macaws. There's a big flock of scarlet macaws in, oh God, I can't see through these. There's a big flock of the scarlet ones I've seen in near where the giant river is that all the crocodiles are in. I can't even remember where it is now. Near Hako, there's a bunch. There's a ton. And those I've seen when I go up there to eat. A lot of fun, lots of crazy things. And that's not even counting the stuff like the Mondays that will walk up to and twisters and start begging for food and things like that. You just see all kinds of fun stuff. Number 3, the sheer absurdity of every single day. Every day I see at least one thing that is not part of our culture that just makes me laugh, busting out laughing. Examples, seeing mini bikes with 2 or 3 guys on them and all kinds of weird stuff, ladders, entire families, right down to the 6-month-old baby. I saw one guy one day with goats tied to his thing. I saw one with chickens, another with giant sacks of bananas. So they're transporting all kinds of things on these little motorbikes, and that's just one of the very many absurdities that you will bust out laughing at every day here. you'll see those crazy things and think, man, what is that all about? And I have seen some crazy ones, including seeing a guy herding cattle who had a goat tied on his horse. What can you say? All you can do is just kind of shake your head and say, yeah, that's Costa Rica. One of the funniest sites I've seen is What the Fuck Costa Rica. That is a Facebook group, and they have all kinds of absurd things that happen every single day, including people graduating from an agricultural college who were given, their families had given them bouquets of flowers, and then given them a small calf, hog-tied and put in bows. Apparently that's a good present when you graduate from there. Okay. The bakers, hey Cheryl, the bakers, the butchers, the fruit stands. Oh my gosh, they have so many just completely awesome places, just little hole in the wall places that you'll go in and you'll buy these things. You'll buy bread all the time. I go down the fruit stand on a regular basis. It's really a great way to find new foods because the one I go to, they'll chop it all up. Hey, Amanda, happy Friday. They'll give you a little sample and you can try it. I've tried some really strange looking things I still don't know the names of here. It's just a very friendly and open place, and you can get all kinds of things that you never dreamed of before. Number one on my list is, unsurprisingly, the natural beauty of this place. Costa Rica has some of the most beautiful things I've ever seen, and I've done some weird things I would have never dreamed I'd ever do in my lifetime. I've climbed a volcano that still spews a little bit of ash and smoke every day. Let me tell you, that was a rough one because the last third we climbed was climbing over loose rocks, and I was just freaking out thinking I was going to snap my ankle because I'm awkward that way. But so many beautiful things. I've sat in the hot springs off that same volcano and looked up at the beautiful greenery. There's greenery everywhere. And yeah, Pretty Kitty has adopted me. So there's greenery everywhere. There's beautiful beaches, some world-class beaches that you can go to here. My favorite I went to a little while ago. I'm still dressing from the beach. I still have on my suit. Playa Grande. I walk on Playa Grande and shell hunt. I made my husband shell hunt with me today. Well, I didn't make him, but he volunteered and he did. And we got a pretty good sized conch shell. So it's all good. So that's the thing with Costa Rica, the things I love. But I gotta tell you guys a funny little story before I go. I saw a cloney. Now, clonies have mostly disappeared because of the pandemic. Yes, Amy, we vacationed here enough that we were pretty comfortable coming back. There's no army here, any of that. So it's a very low key and yeah, it's a very low key and casual, wonderful place. Now, what's a cloney? I haven't seen clonies much since the whole incident where COVID happened, and a lot of it went back to the States. Now, clonies are a subtype I see here sometimes. Mostly is the younger wife of these older gentlemen that come that have a little money. They all look like clones. This is just the only way to say it. They're all perfectly tanned like you'd be if you went in a tanning salon. They all have perfectly blonde hair that's all long. They're always made up regardless. They have all the right accessories. They dress very cheap. You haven't seen those. I've seen a lot of them the time living here, but once COVID hit, they mostly went straight back to the States. But I saw one today. I saw her on the beach. Her hair was perfect. She had a perfect hat on. She had perfect sunglasses, perfect makeup, a perfect swimsuit. So maybe that means we're going to get the clonies back. And the reason I call them that is they show up here and they look normal. And then within 6 months, they all start looking like, you ever seen the Austin Powers movie with the electronic women? I forgot what they even called those fembots they had. Or like, I'm also reminded of the Robert, was it no, it wasn't Robert Plant. The video, might as well face it, you're addicted to love, and all those girls were identical. It's like that. It's like that. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. So yeah, makeup on the beach, Amy. I don't get that. See, I'm on the beach. I got on the beach. I put on a little lip gloss only to avoid sunburned lips because that's the only place I sunburn is right there, swollen and crazy. Stepford wives, but I would say Stepford trophy wives because they're a step beyond Stepford wives even. So that's another subtype you're going to run into here, and they're nice people for the most part. But it is kind of amusing when you see a big group of them. You say, wow, they all look exactly the same. But a fancy swimsuit on the beach and full makeup and hair just makes me laugh. First of all, today it's so humid out there that if you have anything going with your hair, it's going to make it like, look how wavy and crazy my hair got. I was walking in it. Blonde, big bazunga is expensive. Yes, Cheryl, there's a lot of that too. And like I said, I'm amazed sometimes with the women I see that get sucked in by this because I've known a couple of them. I just want to say, what were you thinking? What were you thinking? But I digress. I've not told any of them that. Okay, I'm going to, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to log off, and since I'm having such success, I'm going to log on again, and I'm going to talk about gaslighting because somebody keeps claiming that she's been gaslighting left and right. We need to actually look at what gaslighting is because it is not quite what's being claimed. It's a pretty insidious thing, and most of the time you don't even realize it until it goes toxic and weird. By the time you've reached that point, it is too late. Okay, you guys, I'm ending this stream and I'm going to restart in just a second. Love you guys.